So now we get to our third and final song, which is another one of those great songs that has kind of stood the test of time. It was released 1989, so not too much before Walking in Memphis. So we're also interestingly looking at this period of time of really just a few years where 3 Elvis-related songs became monster hits. Of course, in 1987, we would have been looking at the 10th anniversary of Elvis's passing. I mean, this was a real milestone, so in some ways it's not really surprising to sort of see this surge of reverence for Elvis reflect itself in popular music. And so the final song, of course, is Alannah Myles' Black Velvet. This is really another one of those songs like Walking in Memphis that was kind of an instant classic. It was just one of those songs. I was kind of surprised to be reminded, and I had known this, that Alannah Myles is a Canadian artist. This song is so associated with this kind of sultry southern fried sound that it surprised me a little bit to be reminded that she didn't grow up in the American South. There was this other song she released after Black Velvet on a subsequent album that I doubt anybody remembers, but in the mid-90s, I was working in this mall bar, I guess you could call it. It was a bar that was in the middle of a mall, and they had a playlist that had like 7 songs on it, and they would just play these same 7 songs on repeat all day. And if you had to work a double, which I often did at the time, that would mean like 13 hours straight of just listening to the same 7 songs. They're burned in my brain. And one of them was a song by Alannah Myles that was called Family Secret. Much like Black Velvet, it also had this kind of sultry southern sound, southern tropes like magnolia blossoms and mint juleps and, you know, things like this. It was kind of like one of those like mystery songs like Ode to Billy Joe or the classic Richard Marx song Hazard. There's like a mystery in the song and it's not really revealed. It's up to the audience to kind of figure it out. And it was a weird song, but I heard it like ad nauseum. That was a song that definitely with the lyrics and the sound was going for this kind of southern gothic theme. And it really made me forget that Alannah Myles was Canadian. I don't really know where I was going with that. But anyway, Black Velvet, although this song itself is more about Elvis, the lyrics of the song itself are not really about a pilgrimage to Graceland, but it was inspired by one. The song was written by the then boyfriend of Alannah Myles, Chris Ward. He was inspired to write this song because at the time he was working for a Canadian television production, and he had been assigned to go to Memphis to cover Elvis Week in August of 1987 to commemorate the 10th anniversary of Elvis's passing. So while he was there covering this story for the TV special, he was on a tour bus with a group of Elvis fans. He was really inspired by their great love and passion for Elvis. He wanted to try to capture that spirit. The result of that was the song Black Velvet. Another interesting parallel that it shares with the other 2 songs, the kind of spiritual components of this pilgrimage. He later said that when he was writing the lyrics, he very deliberately penned the line, "A new religion to bring you to your knees." That was very directly an homage to the great devotion and passion that he observed in the Elvis fans that he was sharing the bus with that week. Once the song was completed, he gave it to his then girlfriend, Alannah, to record. It was one of 3 songs that she recorded for a demo. It was the lead single of her breakthrough album. At the time that Black Velvet was released as a single in the United States, it was also recorded and released by the country singer Robin Lee from her album titled Black Velvet. So there were actually 2 versions of this song simultaneously released and promoted in 1990. Alannah's was a monster hit. It reached number 1 on the American Billboard charts and became a worldwide top 10 hit in almost every country that it was released in. It is reported to have been the most played single in the years of 1989 and 1990. It also received in 2005 a Million Award in honor of having been played a whopping 4 million times on the radio. Additionally, according to an interview I saw with Alannah Myles, it also held the distinction of being the number 1 stripper song for 1991. This was a phenomenally successful song. It also won Alannah Myles a Grammy, as well as the Canadian Juno Award. Now, what was kind of sad in reading more about this is that despite being a monster hit and making an enormous amount of profit, and Alannah Myles, according to what she said in later years, was really a victim of the record industry. According to her, when she was young and naive and starting out, she had signed a really exploitive contract. Despite the extreme amount of profit the song made for the record company, As per the contract that she signed, she didn't see a dime of it. According to her, the contract that she had signed required her to pay back the expenses of producing the album. And so because of that, although the album made a lot of money for other people, according to her, she saw no royalties from it until the year 2005, when she finally received a royalty check for $5,000. Now, she did eventually take legal action, and when she got out of her contract with them, she learned that as per her contract, she was not allowed to re-record her album for 12 years. But once that statute was up, she did re-record the entire album Black Velvet, which is available online at her website. And if you download that version of it, the one that's on her website, she will get the profit for that. Revisiting Alannah Myles' career, it's another example of a musician, again, kind of being labeled dismissively as a one-hit wonder. And I take a little umbrage to that because, again, Black Velvet is another one of those songs that made its mark, has stood the test of time. And I think if you are able to create something like that that becomes part of the pop culture, you've done something of substance and something enduring, which is more than most of us can say. So one thing that I think is really interesting about all these songs, they were all in one way or another inspired by this pilgrimage to Memphis or to Graceland that speaks so strongly to the power of both those things, where people come from all over the world to pay homage to them. This sense of a pilgrimage. There is nobody with a comparable legacy. Upon realizing that all three of these songs were Grammy winners, I thought, again, that really spoke to the universal power of Elvis. And it also kind of made me sad that Elvis never won a Grammy outside of the gospel category. Those gospel albums are amazing. They're well deserving of those Grammys. But at the same time, it really feels like a travesty that he never received one outside of a niche category. Maybe there was some cosmic justice of some sort. All three of these songs being lauded with Grammys, because I think it speaks to the power of his legacy. Thank you so much for watching. If you've stayed with me through this, I love you. And thank you for indulging me in this closer look at these fabulous songs. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And I look forward to traveling with you again next time.
It doesn't have to end here. Click on one of the videos below for Elvis and more. And we'd love to have you like, share, and subscribe. And maybe even join so we can put some more gas in this thing.